what led you to start looking for ayahuasca? Like, what got you into how did it even come up?
I was looking into okay, this is really how it all started. I went to go see Doctor Strange.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and then Doctor Strange, that one whole psychedelic scene when he went to go see the ancient one.
Right.
Well, like, I had a psychedelic experience like that when I was like 19, and like I was 41 when I seen Doctor Strange, so it was 20 years ago. But I was like, dude, that's psychedelic. I freaking had that experience before.
Yeah, during that movie.
I was like, I came out of that movie totally body like, dude,
I've seen
that shit. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it was like,
did you get an urge to want to do some form of psychedelic just to like the good old days, or was it like more?
Yeah, it kind of piqued an interest. Like, I was like, dude, whoever made this movie did psychedelics. Like, that's fucking too
exactly.
crazy.
You know, there's signs like, dude, like you see it. It's like the motherfucker that wrote this and made this scene must have done some kind of form of psychedelic to make it like to show us like he was stripping.
so that's what triggered it, and then I started looking back into like shrooms and stuff because I had done acid and stuff, but then I never really got off on shrooms back then.
Really? Were they harder to come by?
Yeah, harder to come by and stuff like that, especially like in the rave scene and stuff.
So acid was the psychedelic of choice in that time.
At that time for ravers and stuff like that.
And that was far easy to come by at the time, or?
Yeah, just go to a rave and somebody had acid.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. And was this glass tile style, or was this like tab, or how was it?
Both paper and gel tabs.
Really?
Paper and gel tabs.
Okay. So was there any difference in levels of?
I had fun on both.
Yeah.
I had good experiences on both.
Okay.
And it's just like I never really had a bad acid trip. That was okay. So that was 20 years ago. I got into it, so I started like looking up videos about mushrooms and stuff like that, and fucking and shit. And then like ayahuasca kept coming up, and I was like, "What's this? Like, what the fuck is ayahuasca?" So I started getting into ayahuasca, watched a few like documentaries, and when I get into something, bro, I watch like hours of this shit.
You just dig deep and like get as much information as you can.
And
you share with me.
And then I was like, dude, I want to do ayahuasca bucket list, man. We're going to Peru.
Right. And
shaman.
And for those who don't know, ayahuasca is like, would you say a rite of passage kind of thing, like a becoming of a man, and he'll do that, or is it just something they do spiritually? Like
actually, the way it was traditionally done was only the shaman did it. Only the shaman did the ayahuasca. He would experience the psychedelic trip. He would be able to tell what was wrong with you through the psychedelic, and then come out of the psychedelic trip and tell you what was wrong with you and what you needed to do to fix it.
Right.
So only the shaman used to do it back in the days. But then unless he felt like it was medicine that you needed to take it with him to go on the journey, would he give it to you?
But otherwise, he was the only one tripping.
Yeah. So that was like the traditional way, like for thousands of years. But like as time progressed, there's still people doing it. But like the more modern was shaman doing it with his son. His son was and doing it with their families,
right.
And they would do a little bit, but it wasn't like they were doing drugs. It was just part of their culture.
Spiritually.
Yeah, and they did do it as a kind of rite of passage. But it was like when the kid was like 12 years old, you're old enough to go on an ayahuasca trip. What the fuck?
Imagine that in your family tradition.
At 12.
Like, come on, son, ready? Let's go.
But they were doing it ritually and spiritually and all that. So that was cool. But so then I wanted to do it. But then I was like as I was looking all that, that's when the discovered old Uncle Terrence McKenna.
Yeah. So did he give you insight on ayahuasca? Did he talk about it, or
he did actually talk about ayahuasca.
And did that pique your interest more into wanting to try it? Because to me, ayahuasca doesn't sound like something that's recreationally used. It sounds like something that's more ceremonial.
Yeah. So like back in then, like from some of the recordings I listened to, they were going to La Charrera and the rainforest of the Amazon,
right, to
find some kind of form of ingestible DMT.
That's what they were looking for?
They were looking for DMT because they had tried it and they're like, it's too fast, it's too quick, like we need to slow this down, figure it out. And they had heard that there's a way to slow it down through this. It wasn't called ayahuasca, it was called something else. But Yahe or something like that. but they were looking for that, and they ended up not finding it when they went to La Chorrera and in Quintos or whatever, but they ended up finding mushrooms, and they found a lot of them.
Wildly, just like growing freely. And they knew they were okay to take, and they just...
Yeah, Terrence McKenna knew what they were, and he as he found them, he was like the first one to eat enough to make him trip, like, oh. So like that, just listening to him talking, he's so articulate with his vocabulary,
very much so,
and his insights and everything, and
kind of makes you think like, wow, dude, this guy's like so in depth, and it's like you're listening to him.
I'm not listening to a crazy man.
No, you believe him. He's like very believable in anything he says. And it's like not even
his whole stone ape theory.
Yeah,
that whole stone ape theory is like, it makes sense. And even if it wasn't that, and even if it was maybe Native American Indians following buffalo herds across the plains, and then that's how they came up with religion or something, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But like didn't sound like the ravings of a lunatic.
No, not at all. No.
Yeah.
It's not like an educated man and somebody that you'd invest in listening to.
Right. So that was like the inspiration to like
continue searching the trip. Yeah.
Into journeys.
Right. Because I remember you hit me up and you were showing me this, and you were telling a few people about it, and everyone else just is kind of like, yeah, like man, like they weren't really too interested. They were either occupied doing something else or not.
Well, because like when you start talking about psychedelics, it's like you're talking about drugs. Yeah. Drugs are bad. But I was like, I'm not talking about crack, cocaine, heroin, meth, or none of that shit.
Exactly. So when I hear you talking about it, I was like, what's up? Like, tell me, I'm interested, because I don't see it as like doing something bad or punishable. It's not like a drug to someone like you or I.
So it's more of a mind expanding, conscious expanding experience than it is like getting high,
recreation high, and wanting more. And
I
never, no matter what kind of psychedelic experience, I've never at the end felt I gotta do that again, like as soon as I can.
Right.
I've was always satisfied. I was like,
dude, you know me. I even was like, dude, I think I'm good. I think I never have to take a psychedelic again.
Right.
I'm good for the rest of my life, man.
Yeah,
I know all I need to know.
But we never truly do.
Yeah,
because there's always something else. There's always something
to learn.
Shown to you. Yeah,
you can learn. You never stop learning.
Never.
And it seems like those profound truths that come up when you're doing psychedelic.
Something just is there, like an epiphany.
Yeah.
Like something that's just right in front of you, and it's just portrayed to you through some psychedelic
wisdom found in the simplest of places.
In the simplest of forms, something grew from cow shit of all things, and you get like this great idea, or like
we were saying in our text, in order to see through the bullshit, you have to eat the fruit of the bullshit.
Exactly.
To see through the crap, and that's what it does. It makes you see through the bullshit.
It's your shit goggles. That's exactly what they are. Your shit goggles see right through the shit. All right, so we led through simply hush talking about ayahuasca, and it came about the only really alternative we could possibly have and experience would be mushrooms. And I think mushrooms is very much underestimated and underrated.
I think people just don't know how to take it.
No, to the common man or the common person,
you gotta listen to Terrence McKenna, man.
Yeah, listen to Terrence McKenna. Just listen to a couple minutes of him talking about mushrooms, and you'll know this.
And do that like with respect, dude. With respect, and then learn about set and setting, and
yeah, it's not just some kind of wild party drug that you can do at any place.
You don't want it. That's the worst place to do them. And then people talk about having bad experiences.
And that's where it gets the bad rep from. Like, oh, I'm never going to do that again.
Yeah.
And that's like, but
it was because you lost control, you lost your ego in front of people and started weirding out and having a bad trip.
Right.
It's because, like, it's not meant to be done that way.
And imagine
you're having realizations about yourself and truths in front of people, you become like vulnerable. It's like, and then once you're vulnerable, you get scared and freaked out because you shouldn't do it in that environment.
Yeah, and you're when you're vulnerable in front of people, what's your natural reaction? You're going to freak out, right. And especially in freaking out in front of people, whether you're on psychedelics or not, no matter what, it's going to do damage to your ego. When in reality, really doesn't matter because you're just learning more about yourself, and like I said, if it was in the right setting, that experience would have been a much lighter experience than, as opposed to doing it in front of people or doing it in the comfort of your home. We both know quite well. So we both experienced, different forms of psychedelics prior to, you know, even talking about ayahuasca to me. I've shroomed before. I've done some whack acid that never.
Yeah, that's still a bucket list. It's still like I'm still. But I don't know. Everyone's like, he says you have to shit and throw up and purge and have fucking, it feels like crap.
Dude, would you say that's worth it though?
I don't know, man. I mean, like what? Like, dude, you eat enough mushrooms.
It's worth it. Yeah,
and it's totally worth it.
Yeah, dude. Every time I've ate mushrooms, I've felt like I was gonna get the gags, or like I had to force them down without trying to, you know, Ralph and throw up in front of everything. That would be embarrassing, but you know, a waste of shrooms. But at least I can get those done. But I can only imagine ayahuasca would be like even worse, if, you know, just from other people's trip reports on ayahuasca. Like sick for days, throwing up and crapping. And, it's hard enough eating shrooms sometimes, but that just sounds like. I mean, I would do it. I would say it's totally worth it. If you say it's like a day-long trip, it's like not. It's like a staged process.
It's crazy because when they have these retreats,
right?
Dude, it's become a widespread thing. It's like you can go to Costa Rica and do it. You can do it in Brazil. You can go to the Amazon, and I mean, of course, like you have to try to find real legit shaman to do it in real legit places. But
would you do it? Would you say ayahuasca is something you could do on your own? Or would you need to be with somebody strong? Not say per se strong, but somebody strong-minded to, you know, kind of guide you through it.
Yeah, someone strong-minded to guide you through it. But,
how about two people that have never done it, such as, you know, you and I? Would we stand a chance?
No.
Need a shaman for that kind of stuff.
Because we'd be both sitting here shitting on ourselves, like going through the horror and having ego deaths and having realizations and fucking crapping and shitting and throwing up on ourselves and shit. Nah, we couldn't. It's not that kind of like
party drug.
It's not a party.
Not saying any psychedelics are even party
are.
drugs. None of them are, but it's nothing like something one would do as recreational as.
I would want to do it as traditional as possible.
Right.
Or even like just with someone
that's been there before.
Yeah. You know.
That's why we, for the first time.
Because the flip side of doing it as traditional as possible is like having some weird witch doctor with fucking leaves shaking it around her head going, and that could scare the shit out of you when you're already going through a fucking horrible time. You know what I mean? You're going fucking throwing up and crapping out of both ends and fucking the fucking witch doctor over you. Like that.
Well, that's why we did shrooms.
But I don't know. I mean, that's supposed to be the way to go. I don't know. But like I did see like a trip report where this guy was talking about like doing like a Native American style ayahuasca ritual, and it was like outdoors around a fire, and then they just kind of like.
But not as harsh as the real thing.
Yeah, they offered you like a second cup of ayahuasca if you wanted to take it. He just sat there, and he said everyone started tripping, so he kind of just laid back and went into his own visual. And then when they asked if anyone wanted another one, he took that up and took another drink and went back into it.
And then a good experience.
But there's some other stuff, dude. Like I've discovered, like just getting into it, there's other freaking psychedelics out there, like
natural ones, or
like San Pedro and
the San Pedro cactus. I've heard of that.
San Pedro, and it's different than peyote. So it's like they're related to each other.
It's like,
but they say like peyote is like really freaking. It's like it's a lot stronger, and like. But San Pedro, I don't know. San Pedro is different. I mean, but
that's
all of the ritual of how you're doing it too can like make it weird. Because San Pedro, like, it wasn't called San Pedro originally. That's a given by a church name.
Right.
It's the keys to heaven, Saint Peter.
Right.
So what is it showing you?
The answers to
yeah. Crazy.
But on another hand, shrooms were, more available to.
Yeah, and it's another natural substance, dude. It's like, we'll take it.
It'll show you what you want to show you.
It'll show you things.